is more theoretical than effective. All easy levels make you feel like you have not done anything, and all hard levels make you feel like rocks are being thrown at your head every quarter of a second. I mean, just imagine if you are playing this vid game. That is the feeling you might get. Nano Assault Neo is not a technological source for plasticity, whether it's from crazy means or provocative know how. In particular, the vibrantucles are worse than the pretentious start screen music. Gear for weaponry feels like crossing stones without pleasure. The worst enemies are horrible jerks of magnetism, and such a game's demanding beauty requires you to beat your head against a wall until you're psychologically and physically made it asunder, pointless, and fearfully down for the count. Repetition is the constant mantra in execution for which you must either lose your mind, get foolish, become a masochist, or turn into a player with the full-time job of doing nothing but mostly empty work. Whereas Zone Ranger for the Atari 5200 is a shooter with plasticity, wild management, exotic lasers, and points of encouragement and transcending progress, Nano Assault Neo has the third item, exotic lasers, with irritating equipment, low fortune, repetitive damage, and less than amusing choice of enemies. There's more of passionate flash instead of increasing difficulty. I'm heartily told by this Wii U download where I am and what my enemies are. So really, you're fighting enemies who are aliens, actually. Aliens from outer space, and they look very weird and mysterious to the point that you'll probably feel like you're looking under a microscope, which is really weird, you know? Although Nano Assault Neo is modern or the impeachment of old times of gaming, everything reminds me of a weak 80s novel cliche because any and all opponents just seem to be things without proven destiny. Some people might even hear my review and think like, oh my gosh, is he talking about humans? Well, no, I'm not talking about humans at all. I'm talking about aliens that literally look like something you might find under a rock in your backyard. That kind of thing. Aliens, UFOs. Quite simply, poor guys shouldn't and don't need to cling to my behind while I'm conducting a scientific experiment on the insanity of shuffling gamers. Who is the number one guy with that mightiest score of hard to earn points? Is he or she even alive? Baseball is a lot more of an approachable game than this work of foolishness. I want dynamics with more specifics, interesting flow of action, a confident outlook, features between features, not some barren field and demeaning stalkers. Nano on the Wii U reminds me of too much intrusive documentaries. And I feel so helpless in the playing field that crying my interest worsens me more than the preoccupation. Soybean futures are greatly exaggerated in my imagination, and Nano just taps me on the face hardly with immediate over respect, if any. Have you read about gummy bears on DeviantArt? My gosh, appetite in my soul can't prosper when gummy bears are as foolish as nanocells. Maybe I'd want to explore the problematic tangents more in Nano to get from point A to point B to point C to point D and so on. However, once I'm finished with the first few levels there are, I can only bang my head on disasters which continue to smack me mystified and dumbfounded. So much complaint is my life story. On this application, I randomly pass away with hushed glory, but totally in absence of bodily fun, enough twisting turns, curious hedges of indoor honor, and even the juggernauts amuse me less to intriguing slugs with very attractive entertainment. But my philosophy on horror, I guess so many moderns are the whispering fairies of execution, or else I would not be here listening to jazz off my silly TV. Ranting is not my forte unless I give it very reasonable dispute over hot and trot universes, or besides the fact that I can't spell all English. Little tiny spaces in my mind lead me to doubt this review of modern cliches, since human anatomy, psychology, spirituality, thick potential mist, and atmospheric touch let me soar in underwhelming judgment for which I attempt at practical favor for the reader's rather than sadistic fancy. Just avoid this game because it's teary by less than complex enough means. It gets very busy on the TV screen, and I lose track of everything after like a couple hours because it just gets so busy with graphics on the screen. Too many graphics, too many visuals, too many sounds and such. It's like as if I'm hearing a program on top of a program on top of a program, and there are so many programs in the program that eventually the program basically undoes itself, in effect. It's a tragedy, a loss, confused horror, and self-defeating comedy. But as you know, in real life, graphics can be very deceptive if you are not aware of how infinite our imaginations are and how wonderful and endless colors can be in this universe. For example, look at my hat here. You might see gray stripes on this hat, but this is actually a pride hat to support the pride movement. Rainbow colors, see, in black and white. And look at this. This is a spoon. You use this to eat cereal, you know? Honey Nut Cheerios, cornflakes, Raisin Bran. I love cereal. You see, this is a simple gray silver spoon. And even if I make this video color, it's still going to be a gray silver spoon. Although my hat would be rainbow. But of course, it's like, well, okay, well, this is a valuable thing, and this is a valuable thing. And this is a valuable thing, and this is a valuable thing, and this is a valuable thing. And you know what? I got a lot of these things from Goodwill, Salvation Army, yard sales. Nothing really luxurious. Often just cheap stuff you can get, from your neighbors if you bargain with them. And there are nice neighbors in my area. So just keep in mind, the world is not over yet. We're all fine. We're all breathing. You could eat some chocolate tonight for a midnight snack if you want to. It's not the end of everything. And just remember, My art is just art. It's not really real. All right. But there is meaning. There is significance because imagination can describe possibilities even when the truth does not know those possibilities yet. Take care. Have a good one. God bless.